Have you ever noticed how your mind seems to have a life of its own? An endless source of energy dedicated entirely to worrying? It's like a motor that just won't switch off, constantly humming with anxieties. It doesn't seem to get tired of this loop. But you do? You feel the weight of it in your shoulders, the exhaustion behind your eyes. It's a profound, draining fatigue that sleep doesn't always fix, because the moment you wake up, the worry is right there waiting for you. You replay conversations, dissecting every word, every pause, searching for a hidden meaning that probably isn't even there. You wonder, did I say the wrong thing? What did they really think? You imagine future pain with such vivid detail it feels like a memory. You brace for a difficult meeting that hasn't been scheduled, or for a piece of bad news that may never arrive. You ask what-if questions that never end. They spiral, one leading to another, creating a web of worst-case scenarios that leaves you feeling trapped and powerless. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I'm not good enough? And even when nothing is happening right now, your body feels tense, as if something bad is about to happen. Your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, your breath is shallow. Your body is living in a state of high alert, even when your conscious mind knows you are safe. If that's you, please know you're not alone, and this video is for you. We're going to gently untangle some of these thought patterns together. Today I want to talk about how to let go and stop worrying, not in a fake, just be positive way, but in a real, practical, human way. This isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending problems don't exist. It's about learning to relate to your mind and your life differently, so that worry doesn't have to be in the driver's seat. We'll explore tangible skills you can use in the exact moments when your mind starts to spiral. And I'll share a personal story of how I applied these skills when my mind simply wouldn't rest. A time when I felt completely overwhelmed by uncertainty. My hope is that by seeing how these tools work in a real-life situation, you'll feel more confident and equipped to try them for yourself. So take a gentle breath, and let's begin. First, let's get one thing clear. Worrying doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. It means your mind is trying to protect you. The problem is that the mind is very good at imagining danger, and very bad at knowing when to stop. Most worry comes from fear of losing control, fear of losing someone or something, fear of the future not turning out okay. And when we don't know how to calm the mind, it keeps spinning, again and again. Letting go isn't about not caring. It's about releasing what you cannot control so you can breathe again. Of all the skills we're going to explore, this was the first one that truly changed everything for me. It's the foundation upon which all the others are built. It's a simple, tangible practice that helps you find your footing when you feel like you're lost in a sea of worry and uncertainty. It's about reclaiming your power from the chaos of anxiety. I remember so clearly how I used to wake up, before the sun was even up, with a heavy, tight feeling in my chest. My mind would already be racing, caught in a loop of anxious thoughts. What if this big project at work doesn't work out? What if I lose this person I care so much about? What if I already said the wrong thing and ruined everything? Each question felt like a wave, pulling me deeper into a feeling of powerlessness. Then one day, in the middle of one of these spirals, I decided to try something different. I took out a piece of paper and a pen. I invite you to do this with me, either now or later. Find a quiet space, take a deep breath, and draw a line down the middle of the page, creating 2 columns. This simple act is the first step toward clarity. At the top of the first column, I wrote, "What I can control." Underneath, I started listing things. My words and my tone, my actions and my efforts, how I take care of my body and mind, and crucially, how I respond to my own thoughts and feelings. Then, I moved to the second column and wrote, "What I can't control." This list was longer. It included other people's decisions and feelings, other people's timing, the past, every single thing that has already happened, the future, the ultimate outcome of any situation. From then on, every time my mind started to worry, I would pause and gently ask myself, which column does this thought belong to? Let's take an example. Say you're worried about a difficult conversation you need to have. The worry, what if they get angry, belongs in column 2. You can't control their emotional reaction. But how can I express myself kindly and clearly? That belongs firmly in column 1. Your focus immediately shifts from powerless fear to empowered action. If the worry belonged to column 2, I practiced a simple, powerful mantra. I would say to myself, sometimes out loud, "This is not mine to carry." I'll be honest, at first, it felt unnatural, almost like I was lying to myself. My mind was so used to carrying everything, but I kept practicing. And slowly, gently, my nervous system started to get the message. It began to understand that it didn't have to be on high alert for things it couldn't change. It started to relax, and in that space, I found peace. There was a time when I was deeply attached to an outcome. I cared so much that my thoughts never rested. I checked my phone constantly. I analyzed signs, silence, words, and timing. My mind was always trying to figure something out. One evening, I realized something painful. I wasn't living. I was waiting. Waiting for clarity, waiting for reassurance, waiting for peace. That night, instead of asking what will happen, I asked a different question. How can I be okay, even if I don't know? That question became my turning point. Here's something no one tells you about worry, a strange paradox that can keep you stuck. The more you fight it, the stronger it gets. It's like a mental tug of war. The harder you pull against the feeling, the more fiercely it pulls back, digging its heels in. This resistance is exhausting, and it only gives the worry more power and more of your attention. I spent years in that struggle. I used to tell myself, stop thinking about this. Be strong. You can't fall apart. Don't feel this. I would try to build a wall against the anxiety, hoping to keep it out. But that only made the anxiety louder. The pressure would build behind the wall. My heart would race, my jaw would clench, and my thoughts would spiral faster and faster. The fight itself became the source of my suffering. So I tried something new, a radical act of surrender. Instead of fighting, I decided to allow. When worry showed up, instead of bracing for a fight, I would soften and say, I see you, you're allowed to be here, but you're not in charge. This simple phrase changed everything. It wasn't agreement, it was acknowledgement. It was dropping the rope in that tug of war. Then I would practice a simple 3-step process of allowing. First, I'd name the feeling. This is anxiety, or I'm feeling fear right now. Just labeling it takes away some of its scary, undefined power. Second, I'd get curious about the physical sensation. Where is it in my body? Is it a tightness in my chest? A knot in my stomach? A buzzing in my hands? I would observe it without judging it, just as if I were observing a cloud in the sky. And third, I would breathe into that sensation. I'd imagine my breath flowing to that tight spot in my chest, or that knot in my stomach, not to force it away, but to create space around it, to soften the edges. And you know what happened? The feeling passed. Not instantly, like flipping a switch, but gently, like a storm cloud that finally releases its rain and moves on. The knot in my stomach would slowly loosen. The frantic energy would subside. Letting go doesn't mean pushing emotions away. That's just another form of fighting. True letting go is about letting be. It means letting them move through you, like water flowing through open hands, instead of letting them get stuck and control you. Worry always lives in the future. Peace lives now. One practice that helped me was grounding myself with simple questions. What can I see right now? What can I hear? What can I feel in my body? Sometimes I would place my hand on my chest and say, right now, I am safe. Not everything is perfect. Not, I know the outcome. Just, I am safe in this moment. And moment by moment, my mind learned to rest. This was the hardest skill and the most powerful. I realized my worry was actually a form of control. If I worried enough, maybe I could prevent pain. But life doesn't work that way. So I practiced trust instead. Whenever my mind asked, what if it doesn't work out? I answered, then I will handle it when it happens. That sentence gave me back my power. Trust doesn't mean nothing will hurt. It means you trust yourself to survive whatever comes. If you're struggling to let go, please hear this. You don't need to have everything figured out to be at peace. You don't need certainty to rest. You don't need answers right now. Letting go is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. Some days you'll worry less, some days more, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. Your calm is coming. If this video helped you, take a deep breath with me right now. Subscribe, please, and comment. You're doing better than you think.